Welcome back, lads and ladettes, to another episode of
Bros and Cons. Let's go, brother.
Wow.
Looky here.
Jay Lex in the building.
We got Malik
First
in the
time.
building, we got our G, and we're all together.
Fucking first time, but I finally get to see Jay Lex.
Yeah.
Man, crazy. I've
Yeah.
literally just come to the podcast now. I'm seeing Jay Lex over here. It's exciting. We're on live right now as well. I promise you guys are going to go live.
So for those that don't know, Malik did address that. So we were both co-accused. We were charged with firearm charges. His case has been dismissed. Praise God.
Praise
God, man.
We initially had bail conditions where we had non-associations. We had NAs, but now we're together. Bruh, this is a happy moment, man. We literally only catched up a couple minutes before we jumped on.
Yeah, amazing,
That is mad.
because we've been that busy, eh?
Been busy, bro.
busy.
And look, the bloke's going bigger than me now, bro. Look at this guy, bro.
But while we're here, just before we start, we got a few shout outs to give. We got some boys from Melbourne that sent in some merch.
Shout out the boys from Melbourne. We'll tag them in the caption, We'll tag their Instagram, their socials, and also to the Golden Scissors boys. I think they're from Chester Hill.
Chester Hill.
Chester Hill, yeah.
Big up
Just
to
on
them.
the corner.
Them
Yeah,
barber
yeah.
boys. So yeah, man. Get some fresh haircuts
Yeah, Moe.
if you're in the area.
That's all. We're going to do something a bit unorthodox today. So we did promise that we're going to do a live today. And we're going to answer at least one question or two questions on the live.
If there's questions on the live, this is our first time going on live YouTube, so if there is questions, we'll answer it now. But yeah, let's just keep the ball rolling. Let's keep it authentic. Man, I'm so excited to see my brother Jay Lex for the first time.
Bruh, big
Hey, this is
long
weird,
has
hey.
that
This
been?
is weird.
Bro, it's been a while. Bro, for like every time, ever since I was young, me and this guy, we've had this type of bond where like we won't see each other for a while, but when we see each other, we just rekindle straight away. It's like we just keep going from where we took off.
Yeah, bro. Straight up for me, it was like jail, bro. Like ever since they put bail conditions on me, one of their top bail conditions was to not see my brother. I can't affiliate with Jay Lex.
Yeah.
I can't talk to him under all circumstances. For me, that felt like jail, bro. Like fuck.
No, 100. Even I remember when I found out about his bail condition, because I was mixed emotions because he just got bail, so I was like, bro, like this is hectic, and I was going to go see him, and the lawyer, he can't see you. That's one of the bail conditions.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, what?
Yeah, it's ugly, man.
And like for
Ugly
those of you guys have already seen how close we are as brothers. It was a big impact for me because the reason why our bond is so powerful is because, as we've mentioned before, growing up, we literally had no one to fall back on. We only had each other to fall back on. We didn't have any, no handouts, no connects.
Right.
Everything we've built off the ground, we only had each other to fall off. We didn't have anyone to call for us. We were each other's rescue. So that's why, like, it means the world that we're able to share together now on the table. Yeah, it's amazing, bro. It's amazing, lad.
I mean, I couldn't wait to see this guy again. Like, as you all know, we're very tight in our bond. And, you know, when I first started Bros and Cons, shockingly, I wasn't able to speak to this guy, but for somehow with this podcast, I was able to communicate with
We were
this guy.
communicating through the episodes.
Yeah, so like I couldn't just call this guy, and like I remember I spoke about change in the podcast. I couldn't just call Jay Lex one day and say, "Look, lad, I'm ready to give this shit up. Let's start helping the youth." I couldn't tell him that.
Yeah. But we telepath connected through the thing.
What do you know about loopholes?
Oh shit!
It was pretty much when I first came out with the episode. I knew this guy was able to watch it, so I knew he was happy in a way. He was able to see that me and Ron Gotti were changing. We're going on a different lane, and just like real brothers, we all switched on, jerried on, started going with the flow.
100%. Yeah.
And yeah, like they say, one brother in, all
In,
brothers
lad,
Let's
all
go.
in. One of the questions that I got on here actually relates to what we were just talking about. Someone asked me what got me first involved in the streets. So I've spoken a little bit about how I spent a bit of my childhood in juvenile, and I have mentioned before that Malik was my former co-accused as a juvie. But what got me first involved in the streets? So I was never actually a part of anything. Malik actually, you guys don't know, but Malik actually introduced me to a lot of the area boys. Para, remember Para?
Yeah.
Old Para,
Yeah,
Hungry
no,
Jacks. I met all the boys through there, and the only reason why I wanted to follow my brother, who's 1 year older than me, and he's 1 year younger than me, we're all a year apart. I wanted to follow him just because I wanted to make sure he was taken care of. Because I believed in my heart, even at a young age, that yeah, he had a lot of boys around him, but I didn't trust that they loved him as much as I did. And you know what? We found out it was the case in the end,
that
you
was
know?
the case, yeah.
We ended up going the distance together, but we wouldn't know that when we were young. Malik had introduced me to former key players in the Inner West, and then me following Malik over a long period of time, I just slowly started, you know, getting integrated with all the boys in the area. And then that's how I was slowly introduced to the street.
Yeah.
That was my story, so yeah.
And he used to hang out with a lot of the same movies.
Yeah. That's right.
And I'd like, as an older brother, you never want your younger brothers hanging around you. But at that time, because of the beef and the heat, I knew it was in my best interest to introduce you to the Inner West boys, you know, some of the older boys, and that's how we went about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, I forgot we gotta answer some of these questions.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's any questions here. Let's read that one. I'm new here. Who are you guys, and what do you do on your channel? Should I sub? I've already dropped a like.
Oh, you use that one? So I'm James Nikua. Known commonly by my former rapper name of 21 District as J Lex. We come from the Australian rap group 21 District, which is no longer running anymore. But that's where we originate from. These are my two brothers. This is Ron Gotti. This is Malik, and this is the band of brothers. We've moved from having a platform where that arguably entices violence towards the youth and teenagers to now. We are using our platform to be able to encourage men to become strongholds of their lives and help the people around them.
That's it.
Amen. That's
That was
it.
a one take, bro. That was
That's
pretty
the
good,
one.
lad.
Good.
That was pretty good.
I thought Malik was hot more. Someone thought you were some more.
He actually is.
Was your dad in your lives growing up, and was he taught on you?
So was our daddy in our lives growing up?
Yeah. Our dad was in our lives growing up. You know, our upbringing was, you know, like it was kind of like how every other islander's family is. You know, big family, living in a small house, cuddled up together. Dad obviously he had some tough skin, but as do all islander dads. There's nothing new there.
Like he was very strict dad, your
Yeah.
typical Tongan dad. So I think he was, because of his strictness, or for me personally, as a youngin growing up in Australia, I wasn't really used to the way he was teaching us and raising us compared to Australian society. I think that's what sort of took me off the rails. I was sort of like tried to escape.
Yeah.
You know, that upbringing.
Yeah.
That good upbringing. I was trying, but my dad, he's a good guy. He's a good, like, everything about him was good. He raised us well. And
You
I
know
think
what?
that's when I tried to escape that.
Yeah.
That upbringing.
And you got it the most as well.
Yeah.
This guy, because he was like the black sheep of our family when we were young. So we all followed the rules. And this bloke, he was the original ball runner, running the ball out of the house, running away from home. And then I would go to follow him, and then you know, the next brother, and then so forth. But you know what? To touch up on that, now that I think about it, he was a typical islander dad, but I do think that he was in that 1% top tier of tough skin dad.
Yeah, he was very.
We can go on about the hidings. The hidings were, when I heard about the hidings that the other islander kids were getting at school, I was like, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really compare.
So yeah, very traditional Tongan type of dad.
Yeah.
Criminal background and everything. My dad was always against everything, you know. But like he
Always
was
was.
like, I think like for any dad in a situation where their sons are going in and out of prison, like I think a lot of dads sort of have no choice but to
Yeah.
a lot of dads in some cases would just try to do whatever they can to help their son. They'll probably still back him for life, or
Yeah.
no, like my dad was always against crime and everything, but like, you know, when it came to police coming to arrest us, You know, he was the
Oh,
first one
bro.
to stand up
Yeah,
and say,
just
"Nah,
like, yeah.
you're not taking my son."
not
You
taking
know,
my son,
and I
yeah.
think a lot of dads can relate to that. You might be against what your child is doing, but you're always gonna have love for your kid. You know,
He's one of those fellas, man. Like I strive to be someone like my old man. You know, no matter how old he gets, he's always going to be in our corner. He doesn't like to admit it to our faces that he loves us.
That's
but,
all right. He
does.
loves us. He loves
does.
us. And he's watching this podcast right now. I bet you anything.
He's lying. He keeps telling my
he's
mum
saying
that he
he's not
doesn't
watching
tune in.
us,
He
but-
does, bro. I know
Oh,
you're
he's
watching.
He's a proud dad. He's a proud
He's
dad.
about that,
especially-
lad.
Especially the way we're going now. You know, we're trying to come out and help our youth. That's
Yeah,
the best
lad.
thing we can do. And anyways, that was one of the questions from the live. Sorry, live. We're gonna have to let you guys go so we can focus on the podcast.
See you, buddy.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Anyways.
All right. Mr. RG.
What's
Fitness
been
tips.
happening?
What's going on, everyone? What's going on?
One of the questions came in for you, Gotti. How much were your veneers?
I don't have veneers, sorry, bro. I don't know what that question is or what that even means.
Oh, bro, that's someone trolling, bro. Surely, lad. Surely.
I've got gold.
Your teeth are pretty white, but give the camera a little smile, lad. Wow. It's not
No,
bad, lad.
this is nothing, bro. It's just called brushing your teeth. That's all it is. You just wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, and if you can brush it more than once, that's a bonus. Anytime you can get more than once, but it's hectic. But yeah, just brush your teeth, man.
How about in prison? We used to brush it like 3-4 times a day because we got
Because
nothing,
you got
else
nothing to do.
Bro, you come out with hectic teeth out of prison.
Oh, do they have like the long toothbrushes, or is it that small one?
It's a small one,
The
yeah.
small one?
Probably only lasts once, you know, but yeah.
Another one. What advice would you give to someone that's struggling with drinking and drugs?
Struggling. So they're already in it.
So they're already doing it. They're not saying how do I stop it. Just advice. I think that's how.
Bro,
Yeah.
what's the advice? Oh, my best advice would just to be cut yourself off from that type of environment or the people. That's probably the best because
Yeah.
one of the biggest problems is the environment you're in or the people you're hanging around with. That's probably the main key factor. That's why you keep going back and you keep doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe change your surroundings, yeah. And
Yeah,
then
change your
everything
surroundings,
else you
yeah.
can work it out yourself.
What do you reckon, Joey?
Someone that's struggling with drugs.
Drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, I think you just gotta really tell yourself. I think Spaniard said it before. He said it perfectly. You actually got to look in the mirror one day and pretty much tell yourself
You gotta
you're a
be
scum.
disgusted.
You got to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
disgusted. I think
true.
could be a big motivator, especially for men. You actually have to realize that
You won't stop
you're
it until you hate it. That's
Yeah.
true. Lad. Yeah.
And like I think for us, especially because we hang around boys with high standards. It's another key thing Ronnie bring up. You hang around boys with high standards, and if you see people hitting their goals and everything, and you're still on drugs, like you got to wake up to yourself one day and actually
You're
tell
gonna feel
yourself,
disgusted.
come on,
100%.
like.
Yeah, lad.
And like we've all done some embarrassing stuff of drugs, but you don't realize it. You think you're normal. But you
Bruh.
won't realize it until you're sober, you know. You're just gonna keep telling yourself, "Oh, I'm normal," but the fact is, your mind changes once you
Yeah.
lose control of your mind. A lot of bad stuff can happen, and you're scum. Or
Like you know it, you know that it's good that the person that asks the question admits that he's struggling with it. I think that's where it starts. You like
Yeah.
a lot. The reason
You
why a
have
lot of
to
people
admit it,
can't
yeah.
stop because they haven't admitted yet to themselves that it's a problem. And I very much agree with these guys. It's the people you surround yourself with. If your circle is always slapping at the pokies every weekend. One of those weekends, you're going to be holding the machine for him. Trust me, you're going to be reserving it for him.
Yeah.
And I know this from experience. You just gotta you gotta stop. You gotta stop hanging around those people that hang around people with $1 million mindset. When I say that, I'm not saying hang around millionaires. I'm not saying hang around people with big statuses. Hang around people that are always looking to improve themselves, to be someone better. They don't necessarily have to have a big bank or big status. Just that person that's always looking to push himself, push himself to the limits. You hang around these type of people, then it just subconsciously, you wanna
wanna be
like
a part of it.
contribute,
Yeah.
It's like that saying, you hang around a barbershop for long enough, sooner or later you get a haircut.
Because I feel like people are certain type, like everyone carries a certain type of energy, and you can feed off that energy, and it's like a whole frequency thing. That's why it's so important.
Energies, eh?
Yeah, it's so important to just pick and choose who you want to hang out.
And do you know
And
what?
sometimes, bro, sometimes you gotta hit rock bottom to realize that. Sometimes, you know.
And have
it
you
takes that.
had any embarrassing moment? I heard like we heard these
lad.
embarrassing
Yeah.
moment, but
Bro,
there's gotta be like a lot of embarrassing moments that a lot of boys like to sweep under the carpet. They like to forget it, but a lot of us go through a very embarrassing moment.
I laugh sometimes when I see memes online because the only reason why they're funny is because you've done it before or you relate.
Yeah.
Like, when I see memes about being paranoid on drugs, I was there before, bro. Yeah, like literally, I was exactly the memes of someone like at the curtain at 5 a.m. That was me, lad.
Yeah.
The paranoia sets in are crazy, and then the drugs start speaking to you, and I think that it's hard to be able to. You can't really direct your life or your decisions if you're on drugs because they lie to you, lad. The drugs, they always lie to you. They make you think that something isn't what it actually is.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
someone will say something to you, lad, but
And
if
you
you're
might take it the wrong
you
way.
take it the wrong way because you're on drugs. You're like, you go back to your car and then you're like, bro, what did he mean by this, lad? Like, bro, what? Does this guy think I'm a gronk? Like, why
Yeah.
would he say that? But this is the drugs. That's what they do to you, lad. They make you feel like, I don't know. It just makes you really sensitive, you know?
Another thing that was embarrassing for me, I'm gonna tell you guys an actual embarrassing moment because a lot of you guys can relate. For me, when I was hard out on the rack and I was having loans, I got to a stage where paranoia didn't just affect me with police. I started getting paranoid on my partner, which is my wife right now.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, a lot of times, this was very embarrassing because I would sketch out little things that she would say. Like, I would like get paranoid about what she's saying. I'm thinking she's
it
even
plays in
against
your
me.
head.
For me, I've had like some embarrassing arguments where my partner would say something, and I'm starting to get paranoid, like she's against me or she's gonna set me
Yeah,
up.
she's plotting something.
And being part of the game, like having a criminal background.
Yeah.
A lot of times we can get into that stage where we think our partner is against us.
Yeah, lad.
Where
It's
she can
dangerous.
set us up.
It's dangerous because
Very dangerous.
Once when you're on drugs, and a lot of people will vouch for this when I say this, it only takes a small seed. Someone plants a little seed in your head, like one of the boys at the drink ups, lad. I'm pretty sure your missus knows this guy, bro. That's all you need. As soon as he plants that little seed in your head, bro, your head starts
You start
making all
lingering.
these stories and stories, and then it comes time your missus is there to pick you up. You're like, nah, F off, you know, I'm not coming to the car, bro. Who do you think I am? What, you think I'm a grunk? Like, and it just takes, it's all from that small seed that one of the boys planted. He didn't do it intentionally, but when everyone's on the drugs, what happens? Everyone just talks, you know, out of your mouth.
That's why drugs is so dangerous,
Yeah.
bro.
Swallowing your pride is a big thing.
Yeah, lad.
Because for a lot of us, we think we're hectic. We think we can control drugs.
Yeah, we
A
think
lot
we're
of us
like the
think
man,
that-
you
yeah,
know?
we got power over
Yeah,
drugs.
we
The drugs
got
not going to
this.
control us. But the truth is, it's
That's the devil, lad, telling
yeah.
you. The devil is telling you that you can do it. No one can fight that. That's all that stuff. The substances and that's of the devil, lad. You can't control that because it's not yours, bro. That's what he does.
Yeah.
And you know one thing that's interesting that you said. One of my good mates actually gave me this idea. Try go to one of the drink ups or benders and sit there sober. I done it like for only half an hour. I couldn't sit there, bro. I was disgusted.
Yeah.
I sat there sober, listening to the boys repeating themselves. They just kept repeating themselves and they were shouting over each other
and dancing.
and dancing between them. And I'm like, bro, is this what my missus sees when like I bring the boys over? I was like, yuck, lad.
Yeah, it's just,
Bro, yuck, chat.
There was some
But
chat days.
you know
man.
what? Like that, I challenge you guys. Like if you guys want a little idea of how it looks like to sober people, how drug people look, try that. Go hang around the boys when you're sober. You will never see it the same way again, lad. And another interesting thing you touched up on, which is a whole nother topic, is I think that being able to listen to your missus is probably something that's it's profound, but not a lot of people talk about it. Because in this day and age, everyone is talking about the man is the man of the house. We direct, we make decisions. But from my experience, the decisions I've made, I couldn't have made them without the advice or without the the help from my missus. Why? Because girls, they see things through a different lens that we can't see. You know, she can see intentions of other boys that we can't see because we're boys, right? We're boys. We see other boys. Yeah, no, it's one of the oi boys, you know. But the missus, because she's a girl, she can see things through a lens that we can't. She can see evil intentions behind. So really take into account what she says, because sometimes, lad, they know things, lad, and At the end of the
Yeah,
day,
and
they're
it's
just
coming
they're just
from a
trying to.
good place,
It's coming
yeah.
from a good place, lad. They want to help you, and that's what marriage is. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You're getting married because you want someone. You're admitting to yourself that this is my other half. She's going to help me. I'm going to help her. We're going to help each other make decisions for both of our future.
That's it. She's
That's
like
the work,
she's like
lad.
a proof check, man.
Proof
you need
check,
that
lad.
proof check,
Proof check,
authentication. That's it.
That's mad. We touched up on relationships.
Bro, that
for
was
the
a
first
pretty
time.
warm start,
Yeah,
lad.
lad. Yeah, lad.
I think my seat is warm, bro.
Don't get away. I said something. Some of
think
you
the
now
heaters
is gonna
on
be
me.
sharing this and reposting it. Yeah. Nah. Some things. Not everything.
I think like if you are on drugs, then you're bound to listen. You have to listen to your
You
missus
have
because
to.
you're not
Yeah.
thinking straight.
You're not thinking.
But when
straight,
you're
man.
your sober self, you can start calling the shots and start making wise decisions. Let's get to the next question before we get shot.
Hey, the man's still the man of the house.
Yeah. Sorry, lads.
Hey, don't forget, boy.
I know a lot of the boys are gonna see that segment and just skip straight past it.
Yeah.
Have you fully committed to letting go of your old ways and old enemies?
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. I can say I'm fully committed, bro. We got heaps of better things going on
Yeah,
for
like-
us right now, man. And it's too much of a small mindset to be thinking like that. You know, if you're someone that's always trying to level up in life, you can never belittle yourself like that. There's always better things to do.
Yeah,
Just
'cause
always
it's
thinking
time
positive,
consuming,
you know?
eh?
Yeah, it's almost time consuming, man.
I think for me, that question is like, so there's two questions in there. Have you fully committed to letting go of your old ways and old enemies? So letting go of old enemies, I have no enemies. I don't hate anyone. I just got no time for it. I've mentioned this before. Beef works two ways. If someone hates me, it's a one-way thing. I don't care. Have you fully committed to letting go of your old ways? Now, so for me, even though I'm on this path, right? I'm on this path, lad, right? Where obviously I'm trying to rekindle my relationship with God, you know? And I'm trying to be on the right path, be sober and focus on my family. In saying that, in my head, I feel like maturity for me is knowing that a lot of things, like even though I feel some type of way, I can't control everyone, right? So there's things and tactics that I've learned that I have to keep in place because I am responsible to be able to look after myself, my family, my loved ones. And just because I feel like this, it doesn't mean everyone feels like this. So I'm not going to start walking around like a blind sheep. And I'm not going to just lie now and say that I'm happy go lala, buddy. No, God is still working, things out of me,
Work in progress, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still a
100%.
work in progress and that. And I still feel like a lot of things that have happened in my age group, in my peers, a lot of the damage is done. And the reason why we're doing this platform is to help the next generation not make the same mistakes that we did. In a lot of ways, I feel like in our age group, a lot of things have gone far beyond repair. But what we can do is try to help the next generation not make the same mistakes we did, because I feel like it's true that saying, a smart man learns from his mistakes, a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. And that's basically what we're trying to do now. We're trying to give you guys all the light and the truth and as honest and as transparent as we can, so you guys can take something away from it and, make better decisions.
Yeah, that was mad.
Yeah. We're not gonna be perfect along the way, but we're definitely, like, for me personally, I'm 100% committed to changing. For me to leave my old life was a very big deal for me, because we basically grew up learning everything we know came from the streets. Before we got into business, we had to learn those tactics on the streets as well. So it was very big. So for us to step out of everything, shows that we're 100% committed. We're here for change. We're not gonna be perfect along the way. I said on the last podcast, I still have problems with anger issues every now and then.
Lad.
Sometimes I blow up and I just want to get back to my old self. I feel like we're gonna go through that a lot, especially now that the devil wants us out of here, bro.
Yeah, because that's the devil's tactics to make us feel like we're not we're not good enough to be able to speak our truths. But I know better than that, lad. I know that we're all human. Everyone makes mistakes. But if we're able to shed some light and someone out there can resonate and be like, bro, these guys are like me, you know? And like I can strive to be better like them if they're doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So it comes like, yeah, lad. Exactly like you said, we're just human. So in case anything does happen in the future and, you know, everyone's like, bro, I thought you were changed. Well, I'm still a work in progress. No one used to make memes of me, you know. But another good question that actually follows into that. Someone asked, what made you change into a church boy?
That question is
That's a very bold assumption.
That's a bold accusation.
Not that it's the reason why I said it was a bold assumption because first of all, I don't think any of us do you go to church.
So in the last 10 years, I've probably gone.
This guy.
Like, if being a church boy is going to church like every week non-stop, then none of us are church boys. Like, I've missed church so many times, lad. I've missed church. But if calling me a church boy is because I'm speaking life, I don't know. It doesn't work.
Yeah, that's why the question's confusing a bit.
I'll show you why. I've got a lot of very, very, very honorable Muslim mates, right? They're really close to me. And when they practice their prayers or their daily religious dialect, like their salam alaikum, their inshallah, they're actually respected in the community for it. Yeah. No one calls them mosque boy. No one laughs at them. They respect them for it. 100%. But if I speak to a fellow Christian and like he's talking and I just say, amen, lad, or praise God, lad. Lad, we need to bring that Christian masculinity back where, you know, people are not afraid to wear your faith on your sleeve, lad. This is a good thing, lad. It's a good thing, lad.
Something that's positive. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But I guess we're gonna cop that a lot from everyone because we came from criminal background. But
fair enough.
he's
fair enough. Fair enough. There.
I wasn't ever religious until I went to juvenile. So when I went to jail, that's when I actually learned about the Bible. Maybe one more question or
one more question,
and then we'll end it.
Let me find one.
Sorry guys, we're short on time. We're with me and RG were actually running late. RG told his barber that he's from pros and cons, and then the guy was holding us up.
The guy goes, podcast? No orders.
2 hours.
He held us hostage, bro, this guy. Held us hostage,
So
bro.
we're running late. Very sorry for that, but, you know, now that the bro's back on, we'll be jumping on regularly.
Last question. After leaving the scene, what do you guys think about other rappers still indulging in the rap scene?
Shoot for the stars, man. I got nothing against anyone that's in the music industry. Shoot for the stars. I think Jay said it as well. It's hard to make a living out of music. A lot of the musicians where I had to make a hustle to start off with. And
some of these questions like this, like I've mentioned before, our platform is not a gossiping platform, lad. Like there's a lot of other gossiping platforms that you guys can go listen to other people gossip about other people. We're only here to speak life, and that's it, lad. That's the whack, lad. We're not here to shut down anyone or talk down on anyone, lad. At the end of the day, we respect the hustle. Everyone is trying to make $1, lad.
And we're very happy with our followers. We want our followers to make it big. We're happy to support us supporting other local businesses and our followers. It's very big for us because we're proud of everything that everyone's doing. So a lot of the times you will shout at the boys for free. We'll shout at different companies and business. That's what we want to see in our followers, you know, because we came very far. I want my followers to come far as well. That's why we originally came out with the phrase giving out the ropes.
And since all of our episodes, we've had a lot of amazing stories come through our DMs. People starting their business, people like taking that risk because they've seen that we were able to take the risk. Amazing, lads, bro. We love it, lad. We love it, bro. We love it. We love seeing that. A lot of youngins have finally made that move to quit their jobs from their bosses. Don't quit your jobs, but
even for some of the gangsters that were on the streets were able to pull out.
Even for some of the gangsters.
Yeah, so very proud of you boys. There's a lot to come for you guys, you know, a lot to look forward to, and they can see it firsthand from us. We're ready to lead the way. And we're also ready to learn as well. So we're still learning along the way.
And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel,
Subscribe to the channel. Hey, what's our thing at now? We've just had a massive giveaway.
We're at 4,000 subscribers.
Shoo!
Yeah. So we're going to keep growing from there. Nothing's going to stop us. We're going to keep going.
Once we reach 5,000 followers, Malika's going to do another giveaway.
J-Lex is out now. J-Lex is ready to top it up another $1,000. Happy followers. So,
Guys,
yeah,
this
just
is
look out
Pros
for
and
that.
Cons. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got Malik, RG, J Lex. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
She still wanna hang with the crew, yeah.